Now, we all know that the Liberal Democrats are irrelevant, right? But they still, in a very small way, going to be playing a key role in the next election because of the new coalition pact deal that they're going to make with Keir Starmer in case Labour get a minority kind of coalition sort of situation. They have launched the new Rejoin the European Union campaign with Sir Ed Davey, the leader of the Lib Dems, and literally every couple of days I forget who the leader is of the Lib Dems, but it is still Ed Davey. And the Independent and all these left-wing outlets are very, very happy, and they're celebrating, excitingly celebrating this new movement, saying, is it basically editor's letter saying the Lib Dems provide a service to democracy by backing Rejoin. I mean, it's fascinating how they've written articles about this, saying the Liberal Democrats matter because going against democracy is a service to democracy. Why? Why this matters? The only reason it matters, as I said, is because if there's new generations there, then the younger millennials who don't really vote, but they voted in 2017 for Jeremy Corbyn, then they went away again in 2019. If they come back, and if the Tories continue to be weak, and if somehow they lose their majority, and it's supposed to be a hung parliament, Labour and Lib Dems are at this point going to be partners. They are going to be forming a government, a coalition government, and Liberal Democrats, this is their platform, which means Starmer has to agree with some sort of rejoin the EU platform. This new current platform, and they could easily sell it to Labour, is this. The Lib Dems have adopted the policy of joining the single market as a step towards ultimately rejoining the EU. They think they're smart. I mean, it is a better campaign in a very subtle way, sneaky way, than just saying second referendum, rejoin the EU fully. The best way if they want to win is this: rejoin the single market first, and then the customs union and all the other programs slowly but surely go back to the EU without even anybody realizing. So this matters because if Starmer falls for this, if he says yes to this, then if there is a coalition government between Ed Davey and Starmer somehow, because I still believe that right now Starmer and the Labour Party can't get a majority. They can't. No matter how much people are angry at Boris Johnson and how many votes he loses to Reform UK and Richard Tice, they can't really get a majority. Everything's possible, obviously, but it's still more likely that it will be hung parliament. And no matter how much we're angry at the Tories right now, the consequences of having a Labour Lib Dem coalition is this, and also lowering the voting age to 16 and giving voting rights to foreigners. That will completely destroy the system and the culture. On their own, they don't matter because they're having their spring conference, their party conference in York, and they've decided to say, well, we are going all the way to York, but the conference is going to be mainly online and virtual. So you dragged everybody up there, but you say, by choice, we're only going to have a small gathering there. The rest of the conference is going to be online. And if you think, oh, is it because they're scared of public health and all restrictions and we need social distance? No, because the Liberal Democrats are not really in favor of that. The Liberal Democrats have been fighting against their lockdown, so they can't use that as an excuse because we will just laugh at their faces. It's because they don't have enough supporters. There is no one who is willing to go to York to sit there and listen to boring Lib Dem politicians' speeches. They don't have any support base. They don't have any money. They can't do anything on their own anymore. They're no longer a relevant party. Not that they were, but they could potentially damage this country by convincing Starmer to say yes to this rejoin the EU campaign. And it does matter, and we have to talk about it because if we don't, complacency happens. The way the conservative, general centre-right conservative parties lose elections, but it's the Republican Party or the Tories in this country or any other country, in Canada and also Australia, same applies, is not by losing support to the left, is when their own voters and base become complacent and don't turn out to vote. So the Tories will lose easily if their voters and Boris voters become complacent, don't feel the threat that they could actually lose power. And this is exactly how we're going to get a coalition, a left-wing coalition, bringing down the voting age to 16, voting rights to foreigners, Probably the toilet agenda is going to come back up again, and rejoin the European Union. So that's why I made this video, so that people are aware, just in case. Regardless of how much we're angry at Boris Johnson, it is a bigger threat that's going to face the country.